Well, my name is Dixie, D-I-X-I-E, and Pebworth. I always say it's a pebble worth something. And I was actually born and raised in Oklahoma City. For me, growing up, I had a pretty rough life. I was adopted when I was 3 days old. And at the age of 4, my mom had a car wreck. And in that car wreck, she broke her neck. And from then on, she became a drug addict, from then on prescription medication. For me, I was very bitter and angry whenever I found out I was adopted. And I was lied to clear up until I was 15. And then I found my adoption papers. And it created an anger inside me and a bitterness inside me towards my adopted parents. I had a dad in my life, but he was only there for discipline purposes. And discipline without love creates rebellion. And he had to work 2 jobs to support 6 kids. So today I understand that, but back then I didn't understand it. And then by the age of 18, I went to prison the first time for second-degree burglary. I did 8 months on a 2-year sentence and came out, and all I did was change professions. I went from stealing to support a drug habit to dealing in drugs. I had no mentors in my life. I had no understanding except street smarts. And then from the age of about 20 to 24, I really became a man I didn't want to be. I did a lot of things I wish I would have never done. And that's why I basically went to prison with an 80-year prison sentence. They locked me up in Oklahoma County Jail. I was sleeping on the floor with rats and cockroaches, the lowest point of my life. I was withdrawn off a drug addiction, had about a $500 a day cocaine habit mixed with methamphetamine. I had voices in my head telling me I'd never be free again, I'd never be a husband to my wife, never be a father to my children, and I might as well just kill myself. And for 5 days, I laid in that state of being. And literally, I was contemplating suicide. And it was, I was planning it out, I was ready to go. On October the 12th, about 7 o'clock at night, the door popped open. And I sat up on my mattress and I looked up to see why the door opened, and about the time, here comes this Baptist preacher. And he just came storming through the door and said, "I come here to tell you God loves you." And I sat up and I listened to the man. Probably the first time in my life I ever listened to anybody. And I went forward, gave my life to Christ, tears just screaming down my eyes. And not really knowing what I had done, but it was just something that came over me. The very next day, he brought me a Bible, and he brought me a bunch of Bible studies. And for me, when I read the Bible, though, it was based on love. I never knew this God of love. Now, I've always seen a God of religion, and a God of law, and a God of judgment and condemnation, and hell and fire and brimstone, but I've never seen a God of love. And then they sent me to one of the worst prisons in the state of Oklahoma, in Hominy, Oklahoma. And it was considered a gladiator school. And I had to go in there and survive with the name Dixie. Although it was the gladiator school and one of the worst prisons in the state of Oklahoma, it had one of the best chapel programs in the state of Oklahoma. Unfortunately, when I went to prison, I did get my GED, and I went through business college, and I also went through 3 years of Bible school. I'd love to tell you I'm perfect. I'm not, but I love God, and God loves me. And it helps me to help other people because I found my purpose in life. And when you find your purpose, you find your life. So many people searching for their purpose, but when they find that purpose, that sustains their life.